We Run the State podcast. Got 3 episodes this week, plus a special edition that's not going to be live. But my man, I won't even give up what's going on with that. But I got a special segment coming up with one of my favorite people. So anyway, tonight my guest is going to be Dillon Faust, 6 foot, 185 pound quarterback out of the Bullis School in Maryland. Um, Helped lead his team to an 8-2 record last season. They played in a competitive league down that way, private schools in the DMV area. Completed 131 out of 185 passes for uh, 2,098 yards, 23 touchdowns against some pretty tough competition down in the Interstate Athletic Conference. That's the acronym IAC stands for. So they play a very impressive schedule, and his team will be playing Mount St. Joseph for the during week 0. So I actually plan to watch that game. I actually had a chance to watch them last year. So he's in our green room right now. So I'm gonna bring him in. Dylan, what's good? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right,
All
bro.
right.
Everything's
So
good.
I got the stream. I got the stream going on. So if you hear me well, I'll do the whole reintroduction thing again, and we can go at it.
All right, yeah, I can hear you. Everything's good now.
All right, that's perfect. So, once again, everybody, my name is Ed O'Brien. This is the Rerun the State podcast. This tonight, I have a special guest. I think he might be the second no, he's probably the third player from the Bullet
Yeah.
School, and I love them guys down there. So he might be the fourth actually, but I think he's the third. Anyway, my man, class of 2026 quarterback Dillon Faust. Did I say it? Did I say your last name correctly?
Faust.
Faust. I'm
But
Faust. No,
everyone says Faust, so I'm kind of used to it.
All right, I'm sorry about that. I'm gonna call you Dylan tonight, but hey, thanks for
Yeah.
joining me on the show. I
No,
appreciate it.
thank you for having me.
No problem at all. So our schedule up here in Pennsylvania is a little different, but it might be on the same track as you guys down there in Maryland. This week, the high school kids are going through heat acclimation. What are you guys going or doing right now as far as practice goes?
So we just came back from a 3 day. We stayed at a college. Stayed at Salisbury for 3 days. We did 3 days. We stayed there, slept there. We bonded together. It was great for like building our team. And then now this upcoming week we have a dead week where we're like not allowed to practice officially. Like we're still getting all the guys together practicing, but like it's not like coach led, and coaches can't really like interfere with that. But we're getting we just like today we just had all the receivers out. We just got a bunch of routes and plays in. So it's been good. And then after that, we start our like 2 days and like our normal camp.
Okay, so you just said you did the 3 day practice at Salisbury College. What are some what are some team bonding things that you guys do there? And are you guys allowed to have equipment on at that time, or just shorts and shirts and helmet?
Yeah, it was just shorts and shirts. We weren't allowed to have helmets yet when we get equipment this weekend. But I think the best team bonding thing was honestly just the practices and like staying together. Cause like at night and like, getting food together, like everyone's together. So like we're all just like joking and laughing, and that just like builds teams, and like you're always talking like with your brothers. Like that's like family. And like obviously we're practicing together 3 times a day. So we're like always with each other, always practicing and always talking. So that just really like builds up people, whether it's sports or you're just like a person. If you're just always with them, you're gonna build a bond.
Absolutely. We're going to talk about several things tonight, but since we're just coming off the off season, let's talk a little bit about your off season. Let's talk, some recruiting first. Where are some of the college camps that you were able to attend and participate in during the off season?
I'm not gonna remember all of them off the top of my head, but I know most recently I went to Georgetown, Howard Brown, um, I went up to Yale, like hit some of like the Ivy Leagues up there. I went to Virginia. Um, Trying to think like at the start of the summer, which ones I went to. I know those were like the main ones. I went to a few others too. They were all good.
All right, and what are some things as far as feedback did you get from some of the college coaches?
It's been both like, I've gotten both great feedback as well as mild feedback. Some schools, it's been like, you're throwing great. We love you as a prospect. We want to see you going into this next year. Keep continuing to grow bigger and stronger. And then some schools, it's kind of like they didn't really like know me too much, and it was kind of just like, good job today type of thing, and try and keep in contact going forward.
And what kind of offensive system you think fits you best as a quarterback as far as your strengths and what will play best to your strengths?
hmm I think for me, especially with like our Coach Skyler has built for our offense as a whole, I think we're a big RPO team, and I think that has fit me very well. And countless hours of film, like decision making, I think I know where to go with the ball on every RPO, whether it's just to hand it off and play for another down, get some yards, or make a play, pull it, make a throw. And then on top of that, I think mixing that in with a fair amount of drop back passes and everything like that. I think that's like the best scheme that fits me.
Oh, sorry about that. Didn't mean to interrupt. Now, last year, and I mentioned to the audience before this podcast started, you guys play in a pretty competitive league. I was able to see a couple games last season, and you guys play a strong out of conference schedule as well. Threw for over 2,000 yards, 23 touchdowns. Well, first, and sorry for not knowing this, was last year your first year starting as quarterback there?
Yes, sir. And that was my first year at Bullis as well.
Okay. And what do you think were some of the reasons why you were able to have such a successful season individually and team wise, of course, but individually?
Of course, I think definitely like to start off like Coach Skyler. Every day to this day, we watch film every day. Go early during school, watch film, and that has helped me because when you get into a game, we've already watched and we know everything. Like I know, I'm like very certain where I'm going with the ball. And that helps me protect the ball as well. And then having like the athletes around me so that I can get the ball in space and they'll go make a play. That helped me, really have a big jump and like I had a lot of trust in my guys. And then, I had a great line up front, good back. So it was a very balanced, and I could put all my trust in my guys.
All
And
right.
think,
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, also on top of that, I think last season as well, it was my first year starting. So I had a big emphasis that off season on just like, getting bigger, getting stronger, building my body, arm strength, all of that. And then, went really hard that off season, obviously, and definitely with film and just working with my guys, and it definitely paid off.
Now, from a recruiting standpoint, if you can remember, who are some of the schools that have told you, "Hey, we like you, but we want to see maybe your first 3 or 4 games of this upcoming season before we make some type of decision or give you some more, I guess, input as how's it, as far as how they view you as a prospect."
hmm I think Georgetown, Brown were like the two main ones that liked me and like they wanted me to, send me their first three, go forward with the film, see how the season goes. And then some of the other schools I've been talking to, some got commit, so it's kind of been mild from there. And obviously still trying to keep in context. You never know with the transfer portal and everything like that. But I would say Georgetown and Brown are really the main two that wanted to see me like at the start of the year.
Okay, and honestly, I'd like to get your opinion on this. You're not the quote unquote biggest quarterback.
hmm
However, if we're talking straight production on the field, and again, you guys play a competitive schedule, you play in a competitive league. From a recruiting standpoint, you put the numbers up, and I've seen you do well in camps and things of that nature. Do you think your size has hurt you a little bit from a recruiting standpoint, or I don't want to assume anything? Have coaches mentioned anything
Yeah.
about your size?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it has like that's just how recruiting is. It has like hurt me, and coaches have mentioned it. Like, I'm not 6'5", so like coaches have said like we need you to get bigger. Like, also like just getting stronger. And then some coaches, it hasn't been as much interest because, they're scouting guys who are 6'5", 6'4". So it has hurt me, but some coaches that I also know have just looked past that fact that I'm not 6'5", but that I've produced on the field and that I like they've seen me throw in person. They know I can do it. So it's been like mixed with that.
Okay, and since the end of last season, what are some things that you feel like you've gotten better at as far as your quarterback play? Anything mechanical, arm
hmm
strength, power? What are some things you think in fact, not think you've gotten better at since the end
hmm
of last season?
I think definitely that's been like my biggest jump in an off season with growing my body and also growing my arm strength. And that has been both like mechanically, working with my guys at AR, Coach Russ, Coach Ryan at QB Factory, Coach Chris, and like at Bullis, Coach Joe. It's not like obviously I've been building my body to get stronger to get my arm strength, but also as well as getting my mechanics right, being more rotational, everything that like adds to throwing power because that's what a lot of coaches wanted to see from me too. And that's been like my biggest jump this offseason, I would say, as well as getting faster. I've been training a lot of speed work, especially with like our track coach, Coach Lee. So that's been like my two main emphasis for this offseason. I've definitely seen an improvement.
Okay, and if you don't mind bragging about yourself for a second, what do you think are your strong points as a quarterback?
I think my strong points are definitely like IQ, field IQ, like seeing the field as well, decision making, and also accuracy. I think those have always like been kind of what defines me. And I think putting in a lot of work after practice with like just throwing with my guys has created a lot of timing, especially like before when I didn't have as much arm strength. My timing had to be like perfect because I couldn't make up for it by throwing some like 60-yard pass. So my timing always had to be on point. And that definitely helped me last season.
Okay, and you said last year was your first year at Bullis and starting. So from a from a student athlete standpoint, how has Bullis prepared you as a student?
They've prepared me very well. And I'm like so grateful because but at Bullets, it's a lot more. I wouldn't say they like load you with homework. It's really a lot more test taking. I would say, which at first it's like, dang, it kind of sucks. But when you really get into it, you have to learn. Give you a hour block of study hall, which is like the best thing ever. You get an hour, you could just get all your work done. And most of the time, I'd watch film with Coach Skyler, especially during the season. It'd be like every day. But when you just use that time to get your work done, whatever time they give you is so helpful. And as long with that, we also have office hours. So I would go visit teachers, get work done. And during that time, that's when I would like really be able to balance my schoolwork with football.
All right, you just answered my next question as far as how you balance athletics and
Yeah, it's
academics. So
definitely yeah.
that definitely takes care of that. Let's get into your upcoming season. What are some of your goals individually, and what's the goal or goals team wise from your opinion,
hmm
from your standpoint?
Definitely team wise, it would be winning the championship. I think we came up short last season, and that's been like the main emphasis this offseason. Like I mean, none of us want to lose. We want to go all the way. We want to go 11-0. So as a team, that's our main goal. We want to go 11-0, win the championship. And personally, I think my goals for this season, I would say I want to. I mean, I definitely do want to win every game. That's like the main thing. I mean, I don't want to lose, of course, but I would also say I want to top my completion percentage from last year and also throw no interceptions. So that's just my personal goal.
Okay, and you had a high completion percentage, so I think it was around 71%. I think is that
Yes,
correct?
sir. Yeah,
I
71.
did, I did my homework too, bro.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
so I know every game is important, but I like to ask: is there a game or two on that schedule that you really have circled? Now I've gotten an answer from two of you guys, and it was the same team. I'd like to know your answer.
I think I'm gonna have one of the same teams, but I got two teams. So definitely Georgetown Prep for sure. I'm betting that's what they said too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but also for me, I would say Gilman because that was it was definitely a hard. We shouldn't have lost that last year, and that was our first game. And it was like a hard week, but those were the only two games we lost last year, and we played both of them again. So we really have a chance to prove ourselves. So I think those two games are the most important to like that I would have circled.
Gotcha. And yep, Georgetown Prep was definitely a popular choice. Last question, if you don't mind talking about it. Who have been some of your biggest influences so far in your football journey?
Definitely like faith for me. God and Jesus. I wouldn't be anywhere without like my faith and my family who have helped me build my faith as well as just like keep me in the right mental and everything. I think that's been my biggest influence for football.
Hey, Dylan, well, look, I appreciate you taking the time to speak with me
No, thank
tonight.
you for having me.
Hey, you're very welcome, and I'll definitely be seeing you guys week one when you guys play Mount St. Joseph. I didn't realize that was a real game till one of your teammates told me a couple weekends ago. So I got to come check you and the fellows out. And hey, I appreciate all the support you've shown me as well. So
Yep, no, thank you.
obviously, you're very welcome. Wish you the best of luck this upcoming season. I'll see y'all in a couple weeks.
Yep, thank you.
All right, Dylan. Have a good night.
All right, you too.